We are recording.
Okay. So this is the monthly meeting of the Southwick Agricultural Commission, 7 p.m., August 19th, 2020. We have so far myself, Bert Hansen, Ron Cicchini and Dan Cook, Zach Barnett, Marissa Cook Obregon, Jean Nilsson, and Dennis Clark. And we are recording. So I think we're good there in terms of our announcement, right? And then let's see. We don't have public today. Marissa is still working on the Lake Management Committee to attend.
I haven't heard anything, so
Yeah.
I know Jean sent like a physical copy of that letter, and I ended up sending an email as well, but I never got a reply. And I don't think they even acknowledged the change in date either from last week to this week for our meeting. So I don't know where that that is, but
You can only do what you can do. You know.
I'm thinking going forward, since we now know that this is a yearly phenomenon, when they treat the lake, maybe come springtime, early spring, we can just approach them and kind of take on top of it now that we have a better idea of how it works. So.
Yep. Jean, do we have any communications, any mail or anything like that?
No, there hasn't been anything in the mail.
Yeah. Okay. Now, approved minutes. Did I miss something? We met July 15th, right? Am I right about that? I'm sorry to be like a little bit in space, but my calendar says we met July 15th, but I don't know for sure.
The last one I have is July 8th.
Yeah.
Do I have the date wrong?
That would have been the regular meeting, the second Wednesday, but I think. Well, anyway, do you have minutes of that meeting? Because I don't think I've seen them.
I've sent them out to everybody.
Okay.
A couple weeks ago.
Okay. Let's.
And we met on the 15th.
Yeah, I'm seeing the 15th too.
Yeah.
So did I put the wrong date on the minutes? Because I got 7/8 on them.
Yeah. Well, that's the day the meeting was supposed to be, and I think I was away, and I think I neglected to do the agenda in time. So I think we made it the next week.
Okay, well.
My bad.
I know I sent the minutes out from the last meeting I typed up.
Okay.
I need to look for those because I don't remember reading them, but
I sent it to a group ad.
Yeah, I see them on July 30th.
July 30th I sent
all
them?
right.
Yeah, it's dated July 8th.
All right.
30th, but that helps my email. Thank you for that, Zach.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for sorry, not thanks. Sorry for the confusion here.
It's all right. We're easily confused.
Well, obviously I'll change the date.
Yep.
On the header.
Somehow I don't seem to have those minutes.
I can't find it either.
Yeah, they came from sic@southwickmass.net.
Right.
Yeah.
And Zach, can you see the group?
Yeah,
whether
Dennis
it has
Clark. It's got Dennis, Lenita, Diana, Marisa, Brett, TC, Tammy Clark, Ron Cicchini, Dan Cook, and myself.
Okay.
You guys all should have got it. It could be going to spam. It is kind of a weird email address.
Maybe.
Yeah.
SIC stands for the Sewer Implementation Committee.
Gotcha.
Oh, is that what it stands for?
Oh, I wondered about that.
But it actually, the name says SIC, so it's like 66.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
So we'll send them out again and then do it
Okay.
at the next meeting.
Do you want to table them? You want to make a motion and a vote for tabling the minutes?
Oh, yes, since some of us don't have them, or at least don't have them in front of us. So yeah,
Right.
I'll make a motion that we table approval of the minutes.
Second?
Second, Marissa?
Yeah. Marissa seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
Or aye?
Hi, Dennis, I
Hi, Zach.
got to do a roll call so everybody knows.
Oh, yeah, okay. So Bert Hanson says aye. Zach?
Zach says aye.
I'm Marissa.
Marissa says aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye.
Dennis?
Aye.
Okay, then. Sorry, Gene, I don't believe you're a voting member.
Oh,
Let's see. On to the next thing. Well, this is our old business sort of checklist of stuff we have sort of on the table. Any new news on the APR signs, Marissa?
Yeah, I actually touched base with Ron Hall this week. I had to email him a few times because the whole issue was trying to get that APR list updated. He finally got back to me. He's on vacation. So he finally caught up with his emails, and apparently that's going to have to go through the Boston office because it's a request of personal information. So that's going to take a little bit longer. But I think it will be good to get just so that we have updated records, and then we can actually keep that for our purposes in addition to the APR sign. So waiting for that to happen. And then for the other signs, because I didn't see those on the agenda, but I wasn't sure if it fell under APR signs, the right to farm signs.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I lost the audio for a second. What are you questioning about on the agenda?
The right to farm signs. I didn't see that on there. I wasn't
You're
sure
right.
if that was the same thing as APR on the agenda. APR
It's-
signs.
Yeah, no, they should be separate, and I just
Close
neglected to
enough.
put them in.
It's close enough. Go ahead.
Okay. For the right to farm signs, so I'd like to work with the Westfield Sign Shop. I think they may be a vendor already. I think Randy
Yeah.
mentioned that they've worked with DPW in the past. Jean, do you know, or is there a way for us to look up if they are a vendor or?
yeah, I can ask accounting.
Okay. I can.
We've done business with them before, so I'm pretty sure that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it seemed like it. They seemed to say that we already had all their information, but I just wanted to double check that. Another thing about the signs though, so before we actually go through with the order, I just wanted to run down what we're actually ordering. So we know that there are going to be 2 signs on both ends of Route 57, right? So that's 2 signs there. And I think we'd also discussed putting signs on 202. On both ends of 202, the Connecticut and the Westfield side. So that's 4 signs there. There are other areas though in town that are very agricultural as well, but they're not in the main routes. And I was wondering if we should just get a slightly smaller version of the sign, like a 12 by 18. How do you guys feel about that? What are your thoughts on that? Because we have room in the budget for it, so.
That's a good idea. I think that's a very good idea.
I agree.
Okay.
What about
I
like
would
on,
love-
what
I would
about
like one
Congamon
on my
Road when
street.
you come in? Sorry.
Oh, Dan, go ahead. Congamon Road, you said?
No, I'm on Tannery and North
Yeah.
Loomis Street and
Yep.
a couple other streets we'd like to have them on.
Yeah.
Rising's Corner would be a good place to have one.
Yep. Absolutely.
Right. So that's, I came up with a little list. I'm glad you mentioned Tannery though, because I knew I was missing another one. I was looking at a Google Earth map of where all the borders in town are and trying to see like if they're pretty agricultural. I know my street, Loomis, I'm on South Loomis. I had a tractor go by like every hour. So definitely maybe both ends of Loomis, because I know you guys are on North Loomis, right? And that's really agricultural too,
Yep.
right? So,
Yep.
all right. So Loomis would be another 2, and those would be the smaller signs. Is that what we're thinking? Like not the huge signs because there's smaller roads.
Yeah, they don't need to be big.
Yeah. Rising Corner, it would only be one at Rising Corner, right? Because that's one
Right.
direction.
Right.
Okay.
I
I was
think Congamon Road would be good too, because that's where people come in from Suffield.
right. So there's two near Congamon, right? There's like Point
Oh,
Grove.
there's also, yeah, also Point Grove. Yep,
Point Grove, and then there's the other one, Congamon Road itself, right?
correct.
Okay, so that would be maybe I'll put two by the lake. How about Hillside? I know that Hillside has some activity with the Solex, the
Oh,
Berry
yeah.
Farm.
Yep. Yeah, coming in from
McLaughlin's.
Westfield.
Mhm.
How about your road, Bert? I'm thinking Mort Vining. There's a few farms on there. I mean, we have potentially maybe more.
Yep, and there's a ton of traffic coming from Granby, Connecticut.
Yeah.
So that would be another one. Okay, so two by the lake, one by Hillside, two on both ends of Loomis, Rising Corner. Is North Lawn Yard a
Oh,
place?
yeah, coming from Westfield. Yep.
Is that there? Are there any
Oh,
agriculture?
yeah, there's tobacco
Yeah.
fields right there.
There is, yeah.
Okay. Do you guys feel like small signs might be nice in those areas too? Like,
Yeah, not on the main roads. But it could be smaller.
okay, so the main road's the big signs, so we'll get 4 of those, and then the smaller little ones on those sides. Okay, I think that's good because I think that's where a lot of the agriculture actually happens. So, okay, cool. All right, so I already have a quote for the smaller signs, and it's all within our budget because they actually bring the price down if we do the smaller signs. But we'll make sure to get the bigger signs, the 18 by 24, which are pretty big actually. Measured it out for 57 and 202.
Fantastic.
And the
Great.
DPW will install them? Is that how it
DPW
works?
will install them. Yep. They said
Awesome.
to do it for free, assuming we buy the posts that are
Okay.
easy for them to install. So I got a price for that too, and those posts also fall within our budget, luckily, of 2,500. So
Cool.
Wow,
great. So
this
I
is
will.
awesome.
Yeah. So I'll place the order then with Westfield Sign tomorrow. Or Gene, maybe you said that they are a vendor for sure. Dennis, you said.
Pretty sure they are.
Melissa, can you ask them to send us a quote so I can get the exact amount?
Gotcha.
Make sure that they don't charge tax.
Tax. Okay. No tax.
I can create a purchase order and that will be for the exact amount. And then they can bill us once the signs are ready.
Perfect. That will be good. All right. Sounds good. I will do that tomorrow then.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for your input,
Excellent.
for your help.
Another item we have is the farm brochure, and I know from our field trip last week that nothing much has happened with that. No worries. But I wanted to bring it up because Tammy went to the Hilltop Farm, but she's on vacation this week, so not able to come, tonight. But she had a suggestion. I think everybody got it about that Granby, Connecticut postponed their open farm day until 2021, which of course is happening with everybody. Maybe we do the same, but maybe we can highlight different community farms on the Facebook page. And that's what Granby is also doing. So we promote farms in town on Facebook. Maybe, I'm not sure exactly what the message will be, but visit these farms. And she's suggesting we start with people who are in the farm brochure, which is actually most of the farms anyway. So she wanted that to come up, at tonight's meeting. That sounds like a good idea to me. Anybody else have a thought?
We could go out and take some pictures of the farms, maybe.
Yeah. Yep. And we're supposed to be doing that for the Southwick 250 anyway. That's coming up.
Oh, we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be happy to go take some pictures. I got a really nice camera.
Oh, okay.
I just need a
Oh,
list
awesome. Okay.
just need a list of farms and maybe some contact information so they don't get freaked out if I just start taking pictures.
Yeah. I've had that experience where I pulled up to a place and started taking pictures and people came out and say, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Exactly.
Right.
Who are you and what do you want? Yeah. That's great.
Maybe we can add some of these people to the Facebook page as well. The farm, if we can get the contacts on there, and then
Yeah.
Yep.
Good
Yep.
idea.
Okay.
yeah, I think we need to advertise the Facebook page more.
Yeah. Well, Marissa and Brett have put together a lot of the information,
Mhm.
you know, the contact information and all that sort of thing.
Okay.
So we,
yeah, if you want
we
to
have,
send that to me.
yeah.
I think Brett has that actually. So I was
Okay,
gonna say Brett might be
I'll
good.
get a hold of Brett.
Yeah, because he already reached out to them and asked them like for the updated stuff. So he might
Okay.
know who's friendly to approach.
Right. He knows a lot of the farmers too in town.
I was gonna say it might be good if you guys go together since he's
Okay.
already spoken to them and he, you
Yeah,
know,
I'll tell him I signed them up for this.
because that might be helpful further on when we do then like the farm census at some point in the future. Like at least they know you guys or they know that we exist and maybe you can
Okay.
Yeah.
contacts for that too in the future. Who knows? But
Good point. Yep. Yeah, the census, which is kind of my thing, I haven't made much progress there. The community garden status, we're kind of just chugging along. Some of the folks who rented plots, you know, haven't really done much there, so there are a certain number of weeds. I've been trying to tackle them with my lawnmower. A pump isn't working right now because it's so dry, so you know, folks are bringing their own buckets of water. But it's still, as I've said many times, you know, it's our best year so far in terms of
Yeah.
numbers of people. So
Some good crops out there too. I see a lot of people harvesting.
yeah,
Some nice tomatoes you got there, Bert.
a lot of cherry tomatoes. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And we have projects there that we've talked about, you know, shoring up some of the fence posts and rebuilding the gates. But, you know, it's been so, I sent an email to all the renters recently and said, you know, we have this stuff we've talked about. You know, I can't even think about it when it's 95 degrees, you know. So hopefully we can get to those maybe early this fall or, you know, sometime when it's a little bit more hospitable, you know.
You have to cut.
Hmm.
You're gonna have to cut all that fencing out, kind of, you know, to get to those posts.
Yeah.
Last time I looked at it.
Yep. Now, yeah, we had talked about replacing the posts, and then Dennis, you talked to someone, maybe from the Boy Scouts or whatever, who said, "Why don't you just get some metal, like metal fence posts, and just drive them into the ground and like
Yeah,
prop 'em
yeah.
up that way."
was the guy who originally put the fence posts in recommended that
Yeah.
because those were pressure treated. They lasted as long as they're going to last, I guess. So maybe I don't know.
Oh, they were pressure treated? Oh man, I didn't.
Right, that's what he thought. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was over there mowing, you know, whatever, a week or 10 days ago, whatever it was, and I was trying to get between number 10, which is one of the ones that Chelsea Pratt has, and the fence, and I was kind of wrestling with the mower, and I leaned on the fence post, and it went crack. You know?
So they're all going to go sooner or later.
I think so.
Sooner than
Yeah,
later.
I think so.
Get a plan, get some kind of strategy,
Yeah.
whether it's replacing them or shoring them up. In the meantime, don't lean against any more of those.
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah, that's the thing. Don't
we
do that.
have money for supplies to buy fence stuff.
$100.
That's something. That's a start.
And you also have a gift account.
Right.
I'm not sure what you can use that money for,
Whatever
but
we want.
it's income that's brought in from the community garden and, you know,
Maybe
Yeah.
from the tractor rally, maybe.
Rally.
and yeah, other, you know, sources that the money is essentially just sitting there and can be used for anything.
How
Or
much,
you-
Gene?
You know, Dennis,
How many hundreds of thousands are sitting there?
you
Yeah.
know,
Last time I looked, it was about $1,000,
yes.
I think.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
might be a little over 1,000. And then the AgCom is budgeted for $500. So, and you have to use that by the end of the fiscal year.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, next fiscal year. So you got to,
Yeah,
you know.
so we got
10
11 months or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good. I think, before we get to the properties for possible conservation, just because we've already talked about Farmscape photos, we got an email, was it an email, Dennis, from Jim Putnam saying, do you like to see some photos of farms in town? And I tried to email him back, but I couldn't get any of the email addresses that I had to work.
You couldn't
So,
get through to him? No?
No. So I'm not sure exactly what he's looking for. But if Zach,
I'll send you his email address again
Okay.
so you can.
Okay.
He's been emailing me. He's active on his email.
yeah, maybe I mistyped it or I don't know what, but
I'll send it to you again.
yeah, okay, thanks. And I think we need some fairly high quality photos. And Zach, you said you have a camera, so
Yep.
I mean, I think it's something we don't want to do with an iPhone, kind of thing. Okay, that's good. So we'll follow up with that. And then I just want to know, it seems like there's several properties that we're working on, looking at, might be conserved, might not. So I just wanted to kind of have a little checklist of those projects. We have a big one in my mind at 38 Mort Vining with the 80 acres that the two sisters, we call them the sisters, own, was their father's place. They had 13 building lots surveyed. And then just in the nick of time, we got in there and said, got the selectmen to say we want a right of first refusal. So we've had a few, actually Marissa is taking the lead on this. We've had some meetings and they are very interested in preserving that property, even though we found out recently it could take 2 to 3 years. Right, Marissa?
Right.
So, but they're agreeable to, they've wanted to preserve it. They went to town hall, according to them, starting 15 years ago saying, hey, we want to preserve this land. And the town hall said, oh, no, we don't really have any programs for that, sadly. But they're kind of hanging in there. And we met with Barbara Hobson from Mass Department of Agricultural Resources with them. And one key thing is that the property should be in continuous use as some kind of a farming use. And they've been haying it for years. Most of it's wooded, but there's quite a good chunk that's meadow. And so I said, oh, we want to keep haying this, and that would be good for the potential APR status, but the grass was 4 or 5 feet tall, and they were afraid to go into the grass because of the ticks to mark where the perk test pipes are. Perk tests were done, the pipes are still there. So I said, okay, I'll do it. So I made a bunch of stakes and I tromped around in there for several hours and marked all the perk pipes, and some of the surveyors' stakes were still there. And I went by today and lo and behold, it has been mowed.
Oh,
So that's good.
paid off.
How many ticks did you have?
I didn't have any ticks. I had one Japanese beetle.
That's not bad.
I didn't realize they preyed on humans, but
Free ride.
So that's good. So we're sort of continuing the farming use, and I also thought it was a kind of a goodwill gesture to help them out, you know.
Very much so.
Um, So, now, Marisa, you've talked to Kestrel Land Trust, right, about potentially, I'm forgetting the term, but buying, you know,
Acquisition or pre-acquisition?
pre-acquisition, right.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
at this point, that would only, Barbara Hobson, during this meeting, mentioned that pre-acquisition or early acquisition is something that might be available, just because if a property does currently take at least 2 years to get APR'd, and in this case, these sisters aren't really actively farming it except for the haying. They don't live in state. You know, they kind of want to move the property as fast as possible, but also preserve it. It kind of creates a bit of a bottleneck for them with what they want to do. So the pre-acquisition option would be available if we had a farmer who wants to buy that land that is in the process of being APR'd. Say the sisters, you know, are APRing it, and 6 months in, they need to sell it fast, but we're still in the APR process. They want to APR.
Yep.
They want to go through with the APR. The early acquisition would be basically selling that land off temporarily, as I understand it, or giving, selling it or temporarily to like a land trust. They kind of take hold of it for the duration of the APR process, and then it can move on to the next farmer. So if we had somebody that was interested in buying that land and the sisters want to move it fast, we can still APR it. They get out of it. The land gets preserved. The new farmer gets the land. It's APR'd, but it's a little bit, it's a little bit of a commitment, because it means that the land trust has to effectively take out a loan in order to obtain that APR or that land, and then they have to kind of sit with it until it's APR'd, and then they can sell it on to the next owner or the new farmer. So
Yeah.
an option for sure, they mentioned, but a little bit, you know, difficult, but it's there.
Yeah, great. They,
No.
you know, they may sell, because even in APR status, the landowner is still responsible for taxes. So, and I'm not sure what else they might have going on, but they may sell a couple of the building lots at either end of the property. But
Right.
I think, you know, not to be Pollyanna, but I think we have a pretty good shot at preserving most of it. You know, they seem very willing, you know, very interested. So we'll see what happens.
Keep our fingers crossed on that one.
Yeah. So what are I feel like there's 3 or 4 properties. I know, Dennis, you were talking, when we went on the field trip, you were talking with Ron about the Kellogg property. And the Kellogg's are on one side of North Loomis, and there's another piece on the other side, next to Ron. Is that right, Ron?
Yeah. There's 10 acres there.
Is any of that farmable land, Ron? Is that something you could? No.
No, not really. I don't think so. But they say there's a building lot on it. But they'd have to go across the brook. What would that cost? You know?
If there's a building lot, it's got to be farmed. So if you can build on it, you should be able to farm it, unless the
Well,
soils are good.
there's no pasture. It's all,
And most of
wooded?
most of it's on
it's a hill,
a hill. Yeah.
and it's wooded. It's mostly all wooded.
Right now they want $96,000 for it.
Well, Ron, just trade in your Corvette there. You'll be all, you'll be all set.
I'd rather buy a nicer spot.
All right, good. Yeah. So doesn't look farmable though, huh?
Not to me. I don't,
Yeah.
you know.
In the land across the street from you, Ron, that's other land. That's not really.
Well, this, I don't know what, 80, how many acres? 130?
I think it's gone from 130 down to less than 100.
Well, there's a house and a parcel next to, you know, where the Cataldos lived?
Yeah.
Well, they don't own that field that their horses are in. That's part of the house next, that goes to the,
Yeah,
to the business.
the house is supposed to be cut out of it, and that property is supposed to be included with the piece we're trying to preserve.
Right. Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Because I know Sharon Cataldo would be interested in that, in a piece, next to her house. Because
well,
they've been using it for many years for their horses,
we'll have to find out if that's an option. To
Well,
see.
I think she's calling Ray Zinkert.
Oh, good,
I gave her his name.
Good.
Yeah. And my daughter lives on the other side of the Kellogg business. And in back, they would be interested in some of the land, like 5 or 6 acres in back there.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Have her call Zinker too, then maybe
Yeah, I think so.
one way or the other, we can preserve it for some kind of land to preserve.
yeah. And now how about the property that the business is on? Last I knew they were trying to sell the business. I'm not sure where that's going, but
Doesn't seem to be doing much. I don't see the
Yeah.
trucks. I don't see the trucks moving out of there at all
No.
anymore.
yeah.
That had to be a good business, that quick.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It was back in the day, definitely was.
Is that the sand and gravel place? Is that?
No.
Kellogg Brothers, it's a concrete.
Concrete.
They made septic tanks,
Yeah.
Was it
Excuse
right?
me one minute.
but he also had a business with a truck that went around and poured small patches of concrete for people.
Gotcha. Okay, I think I know.
It's kind of right across the street from the Black Rabbit. They're the
Exactly, kind of
Yeah, it's
diagonal.
right there.
Yeah. With the Black Rabbit land, her land is really like hilly and kind of rocky too, but she managed to throw, some vineyards on there. Is there any possibility of doing that with that land that's next to yours, Ron? Is it viable for that at all, you think?
Right.
Oh, yeah,
have to cut some trees.
if you cleared it, same with my land, it goes up a hill.
Exactly.
I got a field there, but still, it's
Yeah.
I got trails all through it, so I just go up there and cut wood, but
Right. Yeah.
yeah, you could put Christmas trees up there or anything like that,
That's the thing. Yeah, you could
Yeah,
potentially farm it, not pasture, but
Yeah,
vineyard,
right.
Christmas
I didn't
tree
think of
farm.
it that way.
What's that?
I didn't think of it as vineyards or Christmas trees. That's what
Yeah,
grows
yeah.
good on hills.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I thought of it, but I'm not.
Christmas trees.
I mean, my property right now is turned into a tree farm with the USDA.
Nice,
It's registered as a tree farm.
nice.
Farm
But,
stuff is really interesting, actually.
So, Bert,
Yeah.
I had a question.
Yeah.
If anybody knows the Feldman, because I've been trying to work with him and is expanding his farm fields. But if somebody on the commission actually knew him, it'd probably be better to have a working relationship, because a lot of farmers aren't real comfortable with strangers.
Yeah.
Who,
I don't know him, unfortunately. I don't know if anybody else does.
who's that? Who do you,
Jack Feldman,
Jack.
Jack, who?
Feldman.
Feldman,
No, I don't
potato
know.
farmer. I think Lenina knows him. Tammy might know him. So
Where's he located?
it's towards the Connecticut line on Route 202.
Okay.
We've got a lot of land in the back. He'd like to convert some more of it to farmland, which we'd love to see.
He wanted to open up a watering hole, right? Is that who it is? That Feldman?
Part of it was an irrigation pond. Yep.
Where can I find the rules? Because I've gotten questions from a few farmers in like my area of South Loomis and Klein, asking, they might have 61A land, some of them, and maybe their grandfather or their father might have back in the 50s or something put a little too much dirt near a pond or something, or a stream, and they'd like to kind of clear that out. What are the rules around that? I don't know if that falls under like wetland protection, but it's actually a wetland. It's just that it got covered up over time, but they want to use it for their farmland now.
What I recommend to all the farmers is to go to the NRCS and get a conservation plan from them. Because if they come in front of the Conservation Commission with a plan, it's a lot easier for the commission to say, this looks good, it's been approved, it's been overseen by an agency that does this for a living. So if they came in, if they had an NRCS farm plan, which people have done that, that would give the Conservation Commission a lot more confidence to approve these kind of projects. Because some people they try to use, this used to be a farm pond to try to eliminate wetlands. So it's a tricky subject, but if we have, somebody that's approved it from the state, looked at it, done a plan, delineated it, it's a lot easier for us to look at.
Yeah, in this case, it would be restoring a wetland. Like I think they're just tempted to take like an excavator and take out some dirt and let the water return naturally. But I think they're scared.
Well, that's pretty arbitrary to say it that way. That people will do whatever they can when it take out a little dirt, a little water in. That doesn't fly like an NRCS plan. How they're going to do it, how much dirt's going to come out, how much water's going to go in, how it's going to be performed, when it's going to be done, all those kind of details. Are you talking about the people up on Klein Road that have the
one of them, yeah, one of them asked me there. I think their grandfather covered that area up a little bit back in like the 70s, and I remember when it was actually like a flowing stream, and over time everything getting drier, it's dried up, but there's still like cattails there, so it looks like wetland vegetation.
It is wetland vegetation.
Yeah, and they'd like to restore it. They'd like to have more birds there. They want it to kind of be back to where it was when they were growing up, but they just they haven't touched it because they're a little scared as to they don't want to get in trouble.
They should be too.
Aren't there a lot of restrictions going near a brook, cutting a tree even?
Absolutely, yeah, and especially in that area, we have talked to those people before and told them what they need to do. And personally, I think they're trying to develop the property, and they're just trying to use that as an excuse to be able to have a culvert redone that's for a better roadway or driveway.
Because the people who bought October Farm, didn't they bulldoze down by the brook? He got fined $30,000, didn't he?
Yeah, he did a lot of bad stuff. We had to get administrative search warrant to go on his property.
Oh, really?
They had a dirt bike track going through the wetlands.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't want to work with us at all. No.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. I know that guy.
Yeah, Mr. Canizero was not easy to work with. But he got how much of a fine?
I heard it was $30,000.
Wow.
Didn't they go over with airplanes and spot it or something?
Well, that's how the DEP looks at it with the aerial photographs. But
yeah,
if anybody deserved it, it was him.
Really? That's interesting.
Well, with the Klein people, they express some, it's a younger generation kind of running the show there now. They're my age, and they express interest in potential APR. So that's exciting. Just because, that's right across, from Solek land, and
Well, you know how to.
It's nice to maintain that corner a little bit more agricultural, and I think Mike Solek actually has it for them, so it's like actively used in that respect. But that might be further down the road. I think.
Well, you're familiar with the process, so further down the road needs to start now because it takes such a long time. So if they're really serious about it, now would be the time to start.
Yeah, no, I think the older generation, who currently lives there now, they're a little bit hesitant, but the younger one, the person that's like around my age, I think is wanting to embrace it. But so there might be just a little power struggle there between father and son, but it's encouraging, but good to know. But I will let them know about the NRCS stuff. for that wetland there. So thank you.
Great.
Okay. So is that the list, so to speak? So 38 Mort Vining, Feldman, Kellogg, and these folks on Klein Road? Is that what we're thinking? That's where we kind of have irons in the fire?
I wouldn't add the Klein Road yet. I know the
Okay.
son is interested, but the father currently is living there, and I don't think that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think they're just starting to warm to the idea. I don't think they're anywhere near where the people on Mort Vining are.
Okay.
So
Okay.
maybe
Well,
another
let's,
year we can touch base with them again. But I will let them know about this NRCS, and maybe based on that we can keep
Yeah.
establishing some rapport. But I think right now it would be premature.
yeah, well, let's definitely get and if they see there are, well, just based on the experience with the sisters on 38 Mort Vining, they see there are resources and they see there are people willing to help. To me, that helps move them along,
Exactly.
Just it just takes a long time. People have to really want it and be patient.
Yeah.
It takes a long time.
Right.
And of course, money is always an object.
Always.
So, okay. Does anybody else have any other new business type things? Anything to bring up for the good of the order, as we say? Okay.
We gotta get another field trip set up. That was fun.
Right.
Let's
Oh,
do
that
that
was
again.
fun.
That was great.
I just was going to say that, yeah. Before we talk our next meeting, this meeting's a week late because we took our trip to Hilltop Farm, and thank you again, Dan, for setting that up. It was really fun and really educational, and it's great to see what other folks are doing. I think in terms of doing future things with the fellow Jay that we talked to there, obviously he's in Connecticut, we're in Massachusetts, the regulations are different. So can we help each other preserve land? I'm not sure about that, but we can stay in touch and, get ideas from each other. And it's always good to make connections like that. So thanks again, Dan, appreciate it. And let's think of, okay, what else like that can we do? A year ago we were talking about there was going to be a winter sort of convention of local, not convention, but a get together of various AgComs around the area. I'm not sure if it happened or kind of fell off our radar or what, but maybe that's something we should do, is reach out to other AgComs.
Good idea.
Yeah, and other farms, I don't know, maybe this is silly, but I wouldn't mind taking a tour of Blossoming Acres.
Yeah, really.
I've been in the shop 100 times, but I have no idea what the farm actually
Been out
looks like.
back. Yeah, yeah.
Well, maybe.
That sounds like a good idea.
I think we have a connection there, don't we?
I don't know. She's so busy. I never see her anymore.
Well,
right?
I know. But okay, other ag. So I think, as I was saying, we're 1 week off schedule here. So I believe our next meeting, the second Wednesday in September, is the 9th. So let's plan on that. I've had several conversations with people in the past couple of days, and you say the word September and they go, what? September? But
Right around the
hey,
corner.
it's here. So
Looks like September behind Dennis right now.
that's true.
What is that?
No, he's got a screen.
Oh,
Coast Hill Road.
Yeah, nice. Got a horse there. Yeah, looks good. So I guess we need a motion to adjourn unless anybody else, has anything else.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming. You made me look good. All the commission came. That was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys for coming. I
Oh, thank you,
appreciate the
Dan.
thank yous.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Dan.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, it's nice when you set something up if people actually show up.
Yeah. Right.
Definitely. So, okay, so motion to adjourn. Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn. Any seconds?
I second the motion to adjourn.
Okay, Zach seconds. Let's see. I'm in favor. Zach, I'm assuming you're in favor.
Aye.
Marissa.
Aye.
Yep. Ron.
I
Yep. Dan
Aye.
and Dennis.
Aye.
Okay.